Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and, of course, hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the emote, and the chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you're not a subscriber, you can just say hi. That's also an option that you have. Welcome, everybody. Bobby Dice Roller is here. But yeah, throw some emotes in if you're currently a subscriber. If not, you can just say hello or use somebody else's emotes or be silent. You got choices. Lashbrook is here. Aristovan is here. We got a great crew here. Up top announcements. Over the weekend, my little soundboard, my little physical soundboard device did not recover from me attempting to fix it. I tried to fix it on Sunday. That did not happen. I have now taken that channel points reward out as I look for options for a physical soundboard that is reasonably priced. So I endeavor to replace that at some point. Right now, we still have the ask question that I will definitely answer, which, I answer questions anyway. The unlock, if you're not a subscriber, you can unlock some emotes temporarily. And of course, 1,000 channel points lets you, has me ring the bell. How are my sound levels right now? I had to refigure some stuff constantly and go back and forth between my settings and settings for the charity stream that I was a part of, and I think I've got things figured out. Um, I will also, at some point, maybe be trying out a different microphone, a different mic setup. This headset is as old as this stream is, minus a couple months. Originally, I was using a lav mic, maybe a little low, says Lashbrook. Okay, I can turn it up a little bit. We'll go to that. Let me know how that is. I had originally I had a lapel mic that I was using, and then I had a different headset that was XLR, and I had a soundboard, and that didn't make any sense for me to do. And I ended up getting this, which I was sounds good. Thank you, Fan. Appreciate that. I ended up going with this microphone. Now, the company that makes this Hyper, you can see there the H. They don't make this headset anymore. Their next headset in this line, the equivalent, is also expensive because stuff like this is still expensive. It has not dropped down in price. Demand is still high for items such as these. So I have not gotten a replacement for this yet. I'm figuring some stuff out. I'm going to try something. Basically, there are two reasons why I want to replace this headset. This is also I didn't say this. This is the intro portion of the stream. If you're new to the stream, this is the intro portion. We're going to get the building here. We're giving people a chance to congregate and to join us, and then we'll get going. So the problem with this headset right now is that the cable that for the headphones is shorting out, and that's only a problem if I want to do Discord or Zoom or anything else where I want to have sound come to my headset. So right now, I don't have any sound coming in here. My notifications come to my speakers, and they're far enough away that it doesn't interfere with it. But it is a problem if I wanted to, I don't know, have a Zoom call tomorrow, which I do have. What I'm gonna have to do is, I don't have them here. I have earbuds, and I'm gonna use my earbuds and run those separate from underneath, like held in place with these, and that doesn't work. So I'm looking at a different headset for these streams. The streams I do here, this is fine. This is still fine because I don't use these. I don't hear myself talking in these, so that's fine. But anything that I need to do for any sort of work or conferencing or hanging out where I don't want my microphone to pick up the audio from the speakers, I gotta get a headset for that. So I'm investigating headsets. I may experiment. I may switch them up. Maybe this new headset's going to be the thing I record on. I'll do some testing. But at the very least, I know that for a while anyway, I can use these. And also, the material here is starting to, on the top of this is starting to rub off, and I find it constantly, and that sucks. All right, we're going to get into building here. We're working on the Penelope. This is the Odysseus high grade, and then the Penelope goes on top of it. But we're going to start working on we're going to jump down to the feet and then work our way up because we have done all the upper. And then we have to build all of the Pegasus armor on top of it. And some of this armor has to pop off, or like these arms have to come out so that it can lock in place, which is a cool little feature. All right, so I'm going to retweet my tweet, let the people know that we're going. Maybe this is going to be a chill Monday. Maybe some people are going to flood in, and it'll be cool. I don't know. Maybe it's just going to be us, and that's also okay. I don't know, but yeah, we'll see. Here's the Penelope. There's the Penelope. Hey, look, it's Penelope. Um, so I had somebody ask me. Well, Slowbird was mentioning it earlier on Saturday. Hey, I didn't see the stream you did. Um, the plastic model weekender I took part in, and that which was really fun. That was on a different channel. I am dead tired, says Arista fan. I taught lessons in person for the first time in a year. Wow, Arista fan. I can imagine that taking its toll, to suddenly be doing it in person after not for so long. We have, hopefully this will pop back up for the recording that'll go on YouTube. I am going to continue to talk, but we will see if this suddenly becomes okay. But you are definitely okay. Yeah, looks like we're back here. Dropped a bunch of frames there. Hopefully that's just going to be a slight blip in the radar and not a continuing issue. But we'll see. Sorry about that, y'all. Um, I'm currently Twitch says that my signal is unstable, which is a problem. So hopefully that will fix itself. Um, anyway, what was I saying? So I didn't record my stream locally because the stream I was doing for this charity stream, I was going in from my computer to an ingest server, and then they were taking what was on that server and then putting the overlay layer on, and they were producing it and doing all that. So I was like, well, if I record locally, you're not going to see the overlay. You're not going to it's just going to be weird. So instead, what I'll do is I'll find the video on Twitch. I'll use a program that I have to download it, and then I'll upload it on my channel so that that archive exists and people can watch that. That was my big plan. Well, I ran into a couple issues with that. The biggest issue was the program I used to use to download YouTube videos or Twitch videos that are not yours wasn't working. What ended up happening was, yes. So boom. Yes. That is one of the programs that I have looked at. The big problem I ran into. This was a video marathon, and it actually went incredibly well on their end. A testament to Jason, Bad Gunpla, and his team, and Jesse, the whole team. It went really well, so they didn't have an interruption for 20 hours until they lost connection. So the video was 20 hours long, and the program I was using didn't want to download that. It was just like, no, get out of here. What are you talking about? So I ended up using Twitch Leecher, which is a program that allowed me to set the start and end time of the video. It also is a file that is very large, even though it was just that, which is great because it's good quality, and I appreciate that. The other thing I ran into, which is not a thing that I do here on this stream, you may have noticed while you were watching that there was a bed of music playing underneath everything, and I don't do that on my streams. I don't have music playing. I don't have a bed, and that music was. I didn't even hear it in my ears because I could hear people in our video chat, but I didn't hear the music playing. That was just something that you heard while you were watching, which is, it wasn't my call to have it or not. I guess I could have asked for them not to have it. I didn't think of it. Well, that music is showing up. I uploaded the video. It's still processing the HD version of it, so I haven't been able to share that video. But it also was just like, what are you doing? Some of this music you don't have access to. You don't have the license for this music. So, luckily, none of the copyrighted material has impacted the ability for the video to eventually be shown. So tomorrow I'll be able to put it up. Also, 3-hour YouTube video, so that takes time to process and do all that. But and then check for whatever by default, I attempt to monetize my YouTube videos. Uh, the VODs of this stream go on my second channel, um, so I don't worry about that. But my primary channel, I do try to monetize. I'm so Harold is the host of the stream. Thank you, Harold. I want to just say I am within $1 of being able to get a cash out. So I assume next month it'll happen. I'm so close to getting a cash out from YouTube for ad revenue. I'm so close. I'm so annoyed that it wasn't over the threshold because it's $100 to get a payout. I'm very close now. I'm at 99 and change. So soon, I guess that'll happen, which would be great. And I will buy model kits with that money. But yeah, so I unfortunately right now the archive has not gone up, and it will soon. But yeah, I was running some issues, and then I downloaded it using Twitch Leisure, and then there was an issue. I missed the first 15 minutes of it, so I had to redo the whole thing. Rich Hurt says, I just got 2 HG UC kits delivered today. Heck yeah. I just got a Lego set delivered today that I'm pretty excited about. It's a 3-in-1, and all 3 of the Lego things you can do with the pieces. You don't build all 3, you build 1 at a time, but it has all the pieces to build each of them. That is a cool Lego set, and each of the 3 is very neat looking. So that will be an exciting build in the future, which, I don't know when we're going to get to, but we'll get to it at some point. This kit is going to take a while. Yeah. I mean, this kit is going to, we're moving pretty well. We did a full stream of this on Saturday, and on Monday we did a half stream of this, and we got this far with it. So, we're making progress, but it is going to take a chunk of time. There we go. Got the feet on there. Because there's, as you can see by the photo, the reference photo, we got this whole thing, and then we got this whole thing on top of it. Rich says, I finished building a master grade Gundam. The GPO. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. I mean, this is a big, very large, complicated high grade. And I'm excited to work on a complicated high grade because a lot of high grades I've been working on lately have been pretty easy. I do in the upcoming months have a couple master grades coming in. I got that full mechanics, the Calamity full mechanic, and I'm excited to try that and see what the new version of full mechanics is going to look like because I know what the old version looks like. I'm excited to see what they do with the new version. And I got some high grades on the horizon. I got a master grade from Premium Bandai. I got some pre-orders coming through of some cool stuff that I am excited to work on. Because, always cool to have kits. I mean, some of those kits are coming very soon. Some of those kits we will not see on stream for a while. And then, also, I cannot remember who on stream, somebody during the charity stream that I was a part of, had did I put this on wrong, or why doesn't this not want to fit on right? No, it does. It just doesn't. It's not going in it's not going in its peg. So I gotta get it. There we go. That's right. All right, now we're gonna panel line these. Very simple. These are the feet here. The feet are actually comparatively pretty simple compared to the other parts of these kits. Also, there's not much pizzazz. There's not much pizzazz to them. But we'll panel line them, try to, make them shine a little bit. Somebody in the background, I cannot remember who. Maybe it was the buttress. I don't know. But somebody had a entry grade Pac-Man in their background, and I was like, oh, that's an entry grade I haven't built yet. Lashbrook says the GPO one is definitely one of my favorite suits. Oh, it's fantastic. So I was just like, hey, let's see if Amazon has this kit. It's one of the entry grades I haven't built yet that I've been looking at and thought about. It was on sale, so the Pac-Man is coming. Entry grade Pac-Man. That'll be a 1 part of one stream build. Very easy. But you know what? Honestly, I don't mind an easy build now and again because sometimes this stuff can really bog down. And I don't think this year I've had any kits where I was like, I do not like making this right now. But you know, sometimes the kits are more trouble than they're worth. We're not going to do the feet here, but we will do all the rest of this. And again, folks, I am doing the quick and dirty method here of panel lining. Just kind of hitting it real fast, then using my eraser to clean up my mistakes. Because they're not mistakes, they're just extra. And then it just shines through. The last two, Last says it was a lot of fun to build. A friend, or this is Richard says, sorry. Friend pointed it out to me on the site, and I decided to grab it. The last two HG UCs, high grade Universal Century kits I got today was a Goof and a High Gog. Ooh, oh, the Goof. The Goof is so great. The Goof is a fantastic game. I like the High Gog as well, but yeah. All right, so then we'll continue our panel lining here by panel lining this. What's that? Oh, so our charity event went very well. We raised just over $12,000 plus more, maybe 12 and a half, I think, right now, with sales because we sold some posters and some other things, and most of that money went to the charity stuff, and then also the materials for the posters. So that'll go into that. I don't know the official number yet. People are finding out about their prizes. It was a cool event. I met some really nice makers and some very cool people in chat. There were some familiar names that I saw. We haven't seen Santini 35 here in chat in a while, but Santini won one of the giveaways, which is very nice. Santini's all over the model kit community and on Twitch, and so that was nice. I was there when the names were announced. I was listening in for anybody that donated while I was streaming, and unfortunately did not hear those names. I heard Santini, but didn't hear anybody else. But I was rooting for you because they were some incredible prizes. I am glad that my friends who donated, that y'all donated, didn't win some of the random stuff, because there was lots of cool model kits and stuff, but then there was also Bad Gunpla's kit that he painted with nail polish because he was trying to do the cheapest way to paint possible, and it's kind of infamous in his community, but I was like, that's a weird thing to win. How could you not pick the number that was somehow my name, Pat? Yeah, Lashbrook, I know, I messed up. I mean, I did pick 13, and I picked 79. Because, a Universal Century 0079. Felt like I should definitely pick that number. And then 13 is just a number I like. Hey, Lord Crash, in, welcome. But yes, I'm sorry that you did not win any fabulous prizes. But I was so psyched to have people there and hang out. Sometime tomorrow, I will be receiving the fifth pack of extra trading cards and cards. I thought that they were all going to arrive today. One did not, so I'm going to wait for all of them to arrive. But I will be shooting that video as soon as I can tomorrow. So expect that up tomorrow. Yeah, because I'm just going to put it straight up. I'm not going to do the day early for my patrons, because I want to get that out while people are still thinking about it, because I do owe people packs. So that was the promise I made. So I am opening 5 more packs of trading cards tomorrow. Lastbrook says, no worries, I'm a little jealous of those people that got the HG Re-Rising Gundam, though. Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of stuff, like the real great Zeong, the high-res God Gundam. There were a bunch of cool things. I mean, even $100 to USA Gundam Store. This is a great deal. Or I was not eligible, right? I donated, but I was not eligible. If I had won anything, he would have not said my name if it had come up. So I was I wasn't thinking about that. But I was wow, if I won paint, before I found out we weren't eligible to win, which makes sense, I was like, oh, if I won like a paints kit, I guess I would try. I mean, I'm not going to try, don't worry. But I didn't win, so it doesn't even matter. Getting my second vax shot in the morning, hell yeah, Lord Crashington. My Walgreens had extra times, so they let me move my appointment up a week. Oh, yes, Lord Crashington and I both use Walgreens. Now, the thing is, when you go through Walgreens, you set up your first appointment and your second appointment. Now, some vaccines of the two-dose variety are 3 weeks in between, and some are 4 weeks. But the computer system doesn't differentiate between the two because they don't know what they're going to be getting when you're scheduling. In order to, what they don't want to do is do 3 weeks when it's supposed to be the 4 week one. So since you can do 4 weeks in between, you can do more than that or whatever. They just started scheduling everyone at the 4 week time. But because there was availability, Lord Crashington was able to get in. I should have been able to do the 3 weeks, but still did the 4 weeks because that's how they scheduled me, which was fine. My 2 weeks of bonus hangout, don't do anything time is up on Thursday. And Lashbrook is getting your second shot on Saturday. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. So I don't have anything to do. Rich has 2 weeks to the second shot. Hell yeah. My original shot was about 4 weeks later, so this moves into the general 3 week timeline that is generally recommended. Yeah. So yeah, it is totally fine. I think they scheduled them a month apart, and yeah, because you're able to do it. That's good. I'm glad you're able to get in there. Yeah, I don't have any plans for Thursday other than streaming with all of you. And Friday, my parents' friends are coming over for dinner. Now you're like, oh, because your mom and dad will both be 2 weeks out of vaccination by that point, and then also your parents' friends are. It's like, yes, yeah, that is true, but also they're in our bubble, so we see them anyway. So it's not like this isn't suddenly like we haven't seen them in forever and now we get to hang out. Now, do I feel better about the idea that my mom in a couple of weeks will most likely be seeing the person we know that got COVID, that recovered from COVID? She is fine, but is now also that this was a while ago. Now I am more like, cool. You're gonna go see her. That I feel way better about. She's also vaccinated, but yeah, she's like, okay. Yeah, I don't have anything. I gotta say, I've never agreed with the concept of a bubble. Lashbrook, I understand. And look, for me, my decision, my person, I had a necessity bubble, which was I lived in a 2-story house. My landlord and his wife lived on the first floor. I lived on the second floor with my roommate. My roommate moved out before I ended up finally moving out. I lived alone. My bubble was my landlord, and my landlord and his wife weren't seeing anyone other than their one kid who lived like next door. So that was through necessity. That was not something that I necessarily would have liked. Here, we did have a bubble, and it has been very helpful because there are times where we need to get places and all of that. The nice thing is, and this was the thing that I have been saying, was when I heard this was the case, I was like, okay, these people live 2 doors down. We're going to help each other out when we need to. We're going to make things work for things. We just have to have the understanding that, like, this is it, and there are not exceptions. Like, and I think that was fine. But at the end of the day, it isn't my decision. I can give my input, but it wasn't my call on that. And one of the reasons why I have exclusively been looking for work that I could do from home or where I would be isolated was because I was living with someone who was immune compromised and had to take that into consideration. Now the options for me are a little bit more open. Obviously, I'm still. There's been conversations about like masks in public, and if it, first off, the science is not there to support the idea that you're just cool. Um, I will say there are two things to take into consideration when talking about not being masked in public. And the one is the take noting that the research that says, well, in this study of 3,000 people, this percentage, blah blah blah, and you're like, cool. What what is the background of those people? And the information about those people is that they live in rural communities where they don't actually see anybody. And in that instance, I go, of course that's the case. Yes. When I think about New York, because people were like, "Oh, you wore masks outside in New York?" And it's like, "Yeah." I don't think you understand that people don't, like, people were running on the sidewalk. Like, no one was making way for anyone when I lived in New York. It was constantly running, dodging people and trying to avoid people and wearing two masks and, like, walking in the street when available. When you weren't going to get hit by a car, because people were, like, joggers were some joggers weren't even wearing masks because it's annoying to wear a mask. But, like, yeah, I wear a mask all the time. Guess what? When I go back to New York and I get on the subway, do you know what I'll be wearing? If your guest a mask, you're correct. Gonna wear a mask. Like, definitely when in public, I will be wearing a mask. Like, no question. Like, it's a no-brainer to me. It's just like, oh, what are you? It's like there's a fear and fear. It's like, yeah, my fear is getting COVID. I don't know what else you think. Like, also, some people are like, oh, I think my immune system is worse. Blah 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 blah. It's like, I don't know. I didn't get the flu. I didn't get a cold this year. Like, seems pretty great to me. Like, getting better and like, you know what I should have been doing when I got home off the subway? Hey, Playmo Build Report is now hosting the stream. Thank you so much for that host. Appreciate it. You know what I should have been doing when I got off the subway and walked into my house when I lived in New York still in 2019? I should have been washing my hands because I held subway poles. And I was in a congested, enclosed space with recycled air surrounded by other people. I 100% should have been washing my hands when I got home. I don't remember if I ever really did. So, yeah, I think there are some practices that I'm definitely going to be like, these are new best practices for just me living my life. Welcome. Hello, Plamo Build Report. Thanks for being here. Appreciate the hosting and appreciate you popping in. We're working on the Penelope. It's a big friend. We've got a lot of it done here, the top done, and now I'm moving on. Started at the feet, working my way up, talking about, whatever comes up on conversation. We've been kind of talking about people getting their vaccine appointments, I should say, their second shots, which is rad. I am a couple days away from the 2 weeks past, so that'll be good. But yeah, I don't know anybody here, so it's kind of a weird thing to be like, oh, cool, I can go, like, I don't know. One thing I've been thinking of is there is a hobby shop here in my area that I've never been to. And I looked on their website, and their website is very outdated. But in the Yelp reviews, multiple people within the last couple of years have talked about the Gunpla selection. And at least one person used the term Gunpla. So that is encouraging. And they do not do curbside pickup. So, but they do wear masks, and they do have limited numbers of people. They limit how many people can be in the store at one time. So I was like, maybe I'll go to a hobby shop to celebrate. Like, is that maybe? So I'll let you know. At the very least, I'd kind of like to see what a hobby shop in this area, this part of South Carolina, what's going to be in a hobby shop like that. I imagine I'm going to find a lot of drones, just a lot of drones still. They seem I'm nearish the beach, and that feels like a very popular thing. So I imagine I will come in contact uh, with some people who have some drones. That was my first like guess of like I wonder what this place is gonna have. I don't know for sure. I can't tell you for sure. All right, we're starting to find the spot that feels a little high grady here, and these legs seem a little hollow. I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine. Also, this kit 100% needs a stand anyway because the Penelope armor, the flight suit, is just going to drag it down. So we definitely need to use the stand. Uh, but these legs look like they might end up being a little flims. So we'll see how that goes. I wish I had a local hobby shop. I need another black Gundam marker and don't want to pay $7 for it. I hear you, Lashbrook. Um, I mean, I guess wait for the next time you're going to order a kit and yeah, see if you can get a deal. Keep your eyes out for sales. Turn honey on for Amazon or whatever. Uh, I bought another gray marker and a black marker as backup because I use brown so infrequently that I was like, oh, I'll just wait on this. Um, but yes, I hope you good luck to you, my friend. Like I said, I don't even know what this place is gonna have, right? Like, it, as I said, the Yelp reviews mention Gunpla, which is great that it mentions it, but I don't know for sure if this is gonna end up being like a thing that I get to immediately be like, yes, and now they have these things and I'm getting them and everything's gonna work out and all of this is gonna kick ass and rock and be great. But I don't know. Like I said, um, at the very least, I am interested in investigating, and the idea of like going into stores that are not grocery stores appeals to me because it has been a hot minute since I've just been in a retail location. So that sounds okay. As things start to open up a bit more around here. So I need I7. Oh, I1. I was looking for I7. That was the wrong thing to look for. I wanted to look for I1. I need two I1s. So let's get those out. Get these nice pieces out. They're going to look real good with a little panel lining as usual. And then we need K. Which one is K? Is this K? Yeah. K is one of the interior pieces here. We need K18. Yeah, there we go. K18. Um, let's see. Are there other things going on with your friend Pat? Not particularly. As I said, want to get that archive up of the Weekender soon. Gonna try to get my archive up of that so people can watch that. Um, I'm going to be on a podcast that I am. I don't know when it's going to go up. I'm recording it tomorrow. Um, that is a podcast that watches episodes of old sitcoms. So I'm watching a very old sitcom, a sitcom that went off the air before I was born, that I have known about, but also wasn't like a Nick at Night like regular. It never really made the rerun rounds, but now it is. It's on like free, one of those free subscription with a subscription services, streaming services. So I'm watching that. I'm not going to get into specifics about it because it is, I want to, plug the podcast when it comes out. But I was excited to be invited. Excited to be invited. That is what I'm saying right now. Because it's nice for when people are like, "Hey, be in this thing." Because one thing I got right now is time. As you are well aware, friends, I got a lot of time on my hands. So I was happy to be invited onto a podcast. And when it does come out, I will let you know. Um, Brett is usually good about getting those episodes up pretty fast. Let's see. Ooh, I want to check this out here. Oh, nice. Gotta tell you, folks. Uh, Internet is a garbage fire floating in the ocean, uh, as we all know. But and also likes, retweets, comments, all that stuff. None of that stuff matters, right? I don't know. When someone you think is pretty cool follows you on Twitter, that's still neat. Like it doesn't mean anything, but I don't know. Somebody that I think it does cool shit is following me now, and I was like, oh, neat. I like that. It's like I like that that's happening. It doesn't mean anything. I'm gonna turn into anything. Totally okay. But it's still cool. That's what I'll say. Let's see. Other things going on with me. Of course, in the second hour, the 10 p.m. hour, we will talk about the anime that I've been watching. I made a decision. I am going to put Tokyo Revengers on the back burner. I have, now that I know what the twist of the twist was, because I shouldn't put that on yet. I should get the side piece on first. I was jumping ahead with these feet. I like the idea of Tokyo Revengers quite a bit, and now I know more about what's going on with it. But there's just a lot of anime out this season that's good, and I'm waiting for someone to either like turn and not be as good to free up some time. But everything I'm watching right now, I'm liking. That's not 100% true. I will say there are a couple shows that I'm like. The problem is they're my Sunday, Monday shows that I'm like, I could see myself getting out of this. And we'll talk about when we get there. One just feels kind of formulaic, and I'm waiting to see more from it. Um, but yeah, I also caught up on the shows that I didn't watch because they all came out on Saturday, and I had a lot going on. So I was able to catch up on all those programs, so that was good. Right, so we got to put M on here, M1. We are almost ready to paint align the leg, and then we will move on to the other leg. But let's get this here. We need M, 5 and 6. Oh, they're over here. Got it. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else going on with me. Didn't really get, because, okay, so, a thing that was very cool about the Weekender was having folks in voice chat. And I thought that was really fun. That is something that I'm not used to. And so I was happy to have that. But it did mean that, like, while we were doing that, there was, like, things that I thought we were going to talk about that we didn't get to talk about because conversation was more about what was going on in the moment. Morgana asks, how's the kit so far? So far, it's great. I mean, we're starting with the Odysseus, right? We haven't gotten to the gimmick of it, which is the flight suit, so the big chicken. So it's pretty sturdy. I will say, if this is a kit that you end up picking up, and it's an expensive kit, so I can understand why some people wouldn't. What you have to make sure you're doing here, the one thing that I've noticed is, you really have to make sure that the arm here is really tight as possible, because if this piece is like loose and not like covered where it needs to be, this connector here, it will just fall off. And at first I was like, oh, is this part of the kit? Do I have to like get blue tack out or something? But no, you just have to really make sure everything is tight, like the elbow connection is tight, and that way where you hit the shoulder, that will be tight as well. It's also because these have to slide out for the conversion, that you have to make sure everything's there, because these gauntlets or whatever, the shields, do make this heavy. So that was a thing that I was not doing properly, and I thought maybe it was like, I was like, oh, for a kit, a modern kit like this, you'd think that they'd get in the arm, they'd nail the arms, but also, it is a high grade, so there's no heft to this leg. This leg is there's literally it's hollow, like you can see inside it, right there. That is hollow in there, which I'm not the biggest fan of myself. Um, so we won't get super into wrestling because I know that's not everyone's cup of tea around here. But I will say that still kind of reeling a little bit for some of the people released from the WWE. That was a real shame. Um, some folks that I was like certainly not being utilized to their full potential. Other folks had kind of forgotten that they were still employed, thought they had gotten let go at some point last year because they had not been on television in a very long time. So that was, mixed bag on that. My hope is that folks that were let go find employment in this field if that's something they're looking for, or they get to do something else that's cool. That's always my hope for folks that aren't monsters, and as far as I know, none of the people released are monsters. They all seem pretty cool. We'll see. Uh, and yeah, I hope they all end up landing on their feet and doing well. But we'll see where they end up. We'll see. I can imagine Chelsea Green going back to um, Impact. She had a really good run in Impact a few years ago, and her fiance is working there, so I could see. Uh, and also, the Knockouts division is really strong right now, so I could see her fitting in real good in that current landscape. Um, and then, I mean, I don't know. I don't know where some people end up. I could see Mickie James doing a run on the Indies. That would make a lot of sense to me, more than ending up at a company. I don't know if Samoa Joe has plans to wrestle again, but whatever he ends up, it's a shame he can't have his entrance music. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Joe. So that Joe is a big question mark, right? Like, were they is he not clear to wrestle? And they didn't think he would be again. So they tried to renegotiate his contract to be just on air. And he didn't want that. Is it that? And that led to them then releasing him. Is it releasing him to then bring him back just as an announcer in the future? I don't know. I don't know what his deal is. I don't know if that's something he wants to do, if we're going to see him as an announcer in another company, or if we're going to see him wrestle in another company. I do not know. My biggest proposal with Reese was Mojo Rawley. Seems like they could have done so much with him. In bio reports, he was an incredibly nice dude. So at the best for him. Yeah. Yeah, like, I think the only person I've ever heard negative things to say about Mojo was somebody that I don't think is a good person anyway. I'm not going to get into that. But I think that's the only person I know who said anything negative about him. So, yeah, Mojo, it seemed bad because, like, they were going with something. They were trying something. And then Gronk had an interest in WWE, and so whatever they were going to do with Mojo went away so they could have the old Mojo back because it fit better with what they were going to try to do with that. And then that didn't go anywhere. And then they were like, all right, well, we're going to do this other thing with this other guy. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to have him turn on you, and then he's going to disappear, and it won't matter, and now you're just going to hang out in catering. The wild card to me is Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas has only been in the WWE system. He was not really on the Indies. He kind of broke in through WWE, through FCW, and then NXT, more kind of the older NXT into the new NXT, and then came up and has done a few things, but mostly got over himself. And then I don't know. I don't know where he goes. But yeah, he can go to the garbage can. Lashbrook, I got a lot of I'm telling you this: Bo Dallas does not belong in one of these garbage cans. Does not belong in the garbage can. Uh, Chances of any of these releases moving to AEW. So, Lord Crashington, my gut would say that they are going to bend over backwards to let Samoa Joe, to try to get Samoa Joe. Because Samoa Joe's a big name. Samoa Joe could go in as a manager. Samoa Joe could go in a limited wrestling thing. I feel like that is definitely something they feel about. Somebody people they should pick up. Because I think that they would do well anywhere. But AEW, if AEW wants to push, their women's division, picking up the Iconics would be huge for them. I don't know if they will. Kalisto will go and work in AAA and do very well in AAA, and also could probably go to Japan and do very well in Japan. Joe could definitely at least be a storyline dude, even if he doesn't wrestle, since some of his former TNA buds are in AW. Totally, yeah. But I think they would bend over backwards for Joe. Bo being an Impact get. Yeah, that Punk. I could see that. I could see him ending up working over an Impact. I don't know if anybody's going to end up doing the Indies and Ring of Honor, because depending on the contracts with Ring of Honor, some people can just kind of come and go. Some people seem pretty stuck to them. So that depends. I don't know if that's going to be a situation people find themselves in. I could see. I could say, is Impact still on Twitch? I want to say yes, Lord Crashington. I have not watched Impact in quite some time. Basically, my favorite, one of my favorite characters in there is going through a period that I do not enjoy, which is Sue is now Susan, and I really hate it. Now I'm supposed to hate it. I'm supposed to love Sue, or be terrified of Sue, love Susie, and hate Susan. But here's the thing. I just legitimately hate the character of Susan. I hate it so much. And she's a great wrestler and just a weird, wonderful, strange oddity of a performer. So I was like, no, I don't know. I don't really like what we're doing here. But yeah. I can't post it because of chat rules, but Wood Ellis had some opinions on things that belongs to the garbage. Well, Lashbrook, that is something I didn't know, so I appreciate you saying. I did not know that Bo Dallas has some trash thoughts, so thank you, and I will investigate on my own. And I understand. Okay, well, there you go. Totally. Sure. Thank you for saying. And, can leave it up to people to investigate on their own. All right, we got to do black here on this leg, and then we will put the foot on, and we will call it built. This thing, I guess, is a stabilizer. I assume. I can't remember from it, but yes, that is cool. And then we're just going to hit this with this black. Just get real messy with it and clean it up. Just see if we can add a little features to this. This is a very odd little piece here. These vents, booster vents. So it's going to be a little hard to get some ink on there. Yeah. As far as the wrestlers release go, I don't know where Blake goes. I don't know where Wesley Blake goes. I could see Wesley Blake showing up on the Indies more than... I don't know if any company signs Wesley Blake right now. Maybe they do, but I don't necessarily think that is in the cards for him. He's a good worker. Actually, I'll say this. I could see Wesley Blake showing up behind the scenes as a trainer, because I have heard that he is a very skilled trainer. So I could see him showing up somewhere. Or in a couple years showing up in NXT, working in NXT behind the scenes. But, yeah. We'll see. NWA perhaps for Blake. Yeah, maybe Blake doing it like an older style. NWA is such an odd thing because it's like coming back but not really back, and then like, well, where do people go and who works there, and how much are they working other places, and what's going on with that. But yeah, NWA Power could be interesting. I saw Mick Foley tweeting about WWE having a new show about lost memorabilia and props rig stuff from WWE's past. Yes, that is an A&E show. Because they put out the call a while ago, like in their Twitter and their Facebook and stuff, like sometime last year, going like, "Hey, do you have memorabilia?" And people thought that maybe they were going to try to open a museum because they have hinted at the traveling museum that goes to like to WrestleMania stuff. There's been discussion that maybe they were going to actually open a physical, like a real Hall of Fame, like a building. Good night. Catch you later. Have a good rest of your stream, Pat. Thank you, Harold. Thanks for being here. Have a good night, my friend. So I don't know if that's necessarily what's going to happen, but that it wasn't the thing. It was this A&E show about people and their collections and stuff like that, which does seem neat. I have not caught it, but I like the idea of it. And Foley is clearly involved somehow because he was definitely tweeting up a storm about it. But this weekend was not a good weekend for me to find something new. This was just about like doing what I've been doing more of and getting caught up on things. Because I was spending a lot of time hanging out on the old Plamo Weekender, jumping into video chat. Just about any time jumping into video chat when someone was shit talking the a kit I really liked making, which was the cup noodle kit from last year, because Jason really does not like that kit, and so there were mixed opinions on it. I think that kit rules. That was so fun to build. It's such a love letter to it. That manual was so cool. That's a neat way to honor the history of the business that can easily be lost. Yeah, I mean, it's like looking at people's collections and talking to people about that stuff. I think that like that is cool, and hopefully folks are keeping that collection. The people are keeping their stuff in proper care. And then, yeah, I would like, I think a physical building someday would be kind of neat, because there's a lot of history in wrestling. And it would be kind of cool to be able to preserve some of that in some way. But yeah, I ended up chat a lot defending the cup noodle, because that kit just is charming. It's just a charming kit. I was not interested in hearing guff about it. Just get some big time guff about that. I was like, come on. This is very cute. A14. Okay. There. It would be also be a good way to address the yes, the racist aspects of their history as well. Yes, I mean, it's like a museum. Calling a place a museum allows you to separate it somewhat from the glossiness of it, and having an opportunity to talk about the ways in which it has been and continues to be a problem. I think that that could be interesting. I don't know if we'll ever see a proper wrestling museum, but also just like looking at collections and stuff like that. It's like, right now the big SmackDown fist from the SmackDown set, that's just in storage somewhere. Put that in the museum. What's that? What else is that just taking up room? But that would be really cool to see. When I eventually go to a museum again. Although in New York, people are getting shots in a museum. I cannot remember which one. I apologize. I can't remember one. But I know in New York that right now some people there is a vaccination site that is a museum, and that is fucking awesome. That's just so cool. I would definitely. I mean, I'm thrilled. I was thrilled to go to Walgreens. I was more than happy to go to Walgreens to get vaccinated, but the idea of like going to a museum sounds pretty fucking rad. Even like if I had been in New York, I would have tried to go to the Javits Center just because I've spent so much time in the Javits Center as is. It would be kind of interesting to be like, yep, heading back to the Javits Center to go get my next vaccine. That that feel it feels right somehow that if I had been instead of just going to some place in Brooklyn, like actually going there, but that was not in the cards. Instead, a Walgreens a few towns over. Like not a long drive, but enough drive that like it was just like, okay, oh yeah, we got to go there and get stuff. Go get the vaccination. Santini says, mine was sort of in a museum, Colonial Williamsburg Visitor Center. I love that. Also, hey Santini, I'm fairly certain you won a prize, the Plastic Model Weekender. I'm 99% sure that your name was said out loud. And that you won a prize, so congratulations. And if I'm wrong, that someone with a username very similar to yours won. I was pretty tired. Oh, you won the Barbatos. That's right. That's so weird. I forgot that that's what it was. You won the nail polish painted Barbatos. The myth and legend of that Barbatos. That's awesome. Congratulations. That's such a strange thing to win. It was such a delight to see the fist during the Firefly Funhouse match last year. Yes, using that there was fantastic. It was an excellent use of that piece of history. But yeah, I'm glad you won something because that was a fun, silly addition to the prize pool. All right, now we're going to got a little bit more to build on this leg, not much more, and then we'll move on to, I believe we'll work on the waist after that. Yes, got to start on the waist, and we're getting some work done here. Obviously, as I said, there's a lot to this kit, but we'll get it fixed up and panel lined up, and then work on more of it. We are taking a pause for the cause. We're going to take a brief break here. This is not a commercial break or anything. I don't run ads in the middle of this, but I read ad copy, which is to say I'm going to talk to you about ways you can support the channel. I do this every stream if you're new. Hello and welcome. This is the Build With Baer Workshop. I am Pat Baer. I build model kits and Lego sets and hang out with the community once a week. On a Wednesday, I don't build. I do that. I build on Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. But on Wednesday is a special day where I play video games and hang out with them. And so this Wednesday, I'm going to be checking out Spirit Swap. It is a match 3 game that is currently in Kickstarter. It is a lo-fi beats to match 3-2 style game. It is a queer-focused of Black and Middle Eastern devs, who of which the current owner of the company that is making it, I am friends with. Disclaimer, Alex is a real one and lovely. So I'm going to be checking out the demo, which is available on itch for that game, which, as I said, is still in Kickstarter. They hit their funding goal, and now they've got other goals. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that, Bruno. So I'm going to check that out, and then when that demo is over, we're going to go back into Dorf Romantic, which is in early access, and I promise that before the stream, I will watch YouTube videos to learn more about how to play that game, because I still don't think I'm getting it. So we're going to play more of that, because it's cool. So that's going to be, and I wanted to play more of it. So that is going to be on Wednesday. If you want to follow me like Bruno did, you get the follow button and hit the turn your notifications on so you know when I go live. If you're currently a subscriber to the Build With Baer Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego. If you're a Tier 2 or Tier 3, you can throw the Scythe emote in the chat. Let the people know that you are a subscriber. You can subscribe with cash money. You could use your Prime Gaming token. If you're not doing it for me, do it for somebody, because that's just money on the table. You could gift a sub. You could join the gift leaderboard with Bobby, or you could do bits, coins, like Harold. Harold is currently with 68 bits at the top of the leaderboard for that. Gifting subs. Also, if you've been gifted a sub, because we had a good run of that this month and last month, you can convert that to a regular old subscription at any time, and you won't get charged until your gifted sub expires. So consider doing that. Thank you all so much for being here. Of course, you don't have to do any of the things I'm about to mention. You don't have to do any of these things. These are all optional things you could do if you wanted to. You being here is the most important thing. But also, I built model kits and Lego, and I got to keep buying model kits and Lego, so I got to do my ad reads. I have a Patreon. If $5 a month on Twitch is not to your style, I got a $1 tier, a $3 tier, a $5 tier, and a $10 tier there, so maybe consider doing that. Jump in on the party, which is my Patreon. That is an option. YouTube. You can subscribe to my YouTube for free, but if you were feeling like, maybe I want to join your Patreon, or sorry, your YouTube, well, that's $2 a month. You could join that, because, yeah, I offer memberships on my YouTube as another alternative. One-off donations, because everything I make through YouTube, through Patreon, through Twitch goes back into buying kits and equipment. So if you wanted to do a one-time donation, you're more than welcome to do that. And like I said, all that money goes back into the business, like getting a new headset, buying model kits. Just picked up a kit that'll be arriving tomorrow. And I'll get through these as fast as I can, folks. We can get back to building. I have an Amazon wish list. If you were like, Pat, what if you built something that I bought you? Well, you can go to my Amazon wish list, and it'll jump the queue. Anything bought on there will come. I'll shoot a video about it. If your name is included on the piece of paper that can come with it, I will give you a shout out. And then it'll jump the queue. So I won't work on the high grades I have, or the Lego set I have, or the master grade that I have in my backlog. I will then jump to whatever you bought. I got high grades, I got Lego sets, I got entry grade kits, I've got all kinds of different things. There's a Zoid in there. Bunch of different things that I've never built that I would be interested in building. Yeah. Oh, there's the Hello Kitty. I put this in here. It's expensive. Don't get me wrong, but I put it in there because I haven't built the Hello Kitty RX-782. I would like to build that, the SD Hello Kitty thing. So I put that on my wish list. It's expensive, as I said, but that is a thing that I'm like, you know what? I would build that. That would be fun. So I put that on my wish list. And again, you jump the queue. Now, alternatively, if you're like, Pat, I do not want to support Amazon if I can avoid it, and I get that, I understand it. You could buy me a gift card to USA Gundam Store. They send you a code in your email. You take that code and you send it to me via DM on Twitter or a whisper here on Twitch. I check both. My DMs are open. And that's the same thing. I'll shoot a video, and you can also be like, hey, here's some money, or hey, you should build this, and we can talk about it, and I'll find something to spend your money on. And that would be radical. Let's see. Oh, I have a Discord. That's a free thing. If you want to support what I do for free, you can join my Discord. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post things they're working on in the Discord as well. There's some photos. There's a place to promote yourself if you'd like to do that. There's a spot for just my patrons, but that's nothing happens in there. It's a nice thing to have. Okay, a couple videos that I want to recommend. Pat Bear's Anime Club is my every other Monday video series. No new episode this week, new episode next week. In this latest episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club, I answer the question, hey, what's the deal with that sound effect that happens in some anime that's like a weird trope? It's a girl going, wow. What's up with that sound effect? Why is that in anime? I explain it and do my best to figure out why. It is somewhat researched, and I'm pretty proud of that little video. Just because it's a little different than just being like, hey, here's what I like this month. Also, my next video probably will be, here's stuff I'm liking. Here's my favorite shows of the spring season. That's probably going to be my next video. Next Monday. Probably, because people ask me that all the time. It's nice to have an answer. Bear With Me is my weekly video series where I react to things. This is me reacting to a prop master. And that's mostly just interesting for me. This coming Wednesday, my next video, it's good. It's my first one reacting to someone in cosplay. And I think you'll like it. I was pretty pleased. But yeah, everyone does everyone 2 years ago did reaction videos. I'm also doing that. Maybe next year I'll start doing unboxing videos. I won't. Uh, uh, Bear in a Box is probably not going to be my next video series because every year I change up my weekly video series. This is the third year doing that. But yeah, I would have to buy a lot more stuff to unbox things. I guess the goal would be eventually that someone would send me something to unbox. I guess I don't know. But look, even though it's April, I'm still thinking about what I do next year, because that's how I roll. All right, I'm gonna drink a little water. We're gonna get back into building, and then we're gonna talk about some anime. But first, let me drink a little H2O, and then we'll get back into the Penelope. Ah, that's good. So, for those that are new to the stream, hi, welcome. The thing that happens here is in the second hour of every stream, after my ad reads, as a way to have things to talk about, because, oh boy, sometimes I just don't have things to talk about on stream, as you may have noticed from the first half, where I was like, and then I guess we'll talk. Sometimes I just don't have things to say. I do have things to say about anime that I watch, because I watch a lot of anime. Let's see. One of these shows is a Saturday show. I just ran out of time on Saturday to get caught up because of things that were happening, because I had a bunch of hours that I usually have free that I did not have free. So, let's start with, this is the last new show this season. It started late. It started well after other shows, which is fine, but surprising. Actually, hold on. I'm going to hit the be right back. 1 second. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. We're back. So, welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun Season 2. Iruma is, so if you haven't watched Season 1, check it out. It's really funny. You generally don't see a show get like a double length. It was 23 episodes. That's rare for a comedy anime. Is it technically an isekai? Yes, you could say that it is technically an isekai because it is about a young man named Iruma, who has been definitely mistreated his whole life. His parents were not loving parents. They, because his disposition is to be nice and to go with the flow. And if you say please, he feels very strongly that he cannot refuse you. Taken advantage of by his parents for his whole life. They sell his soul and body to a demon. And this is a comedy show, so that demon just wanted a grandson, because we found out later why. We found out later that this demon, who is one of the strongest demons in all of the Netherworld, his two rivals, his friendly rivals, they have grandsons, and they have cute, fun grandsons, and he feels bad that he doesn't have a cute grandson. He's jealous. So he instead adopts a human boy and goes, all right, well, you got to go to demon school. Here's a ring that can collect my powers, and you can use that ring in order to do some magic so that you can fit in. And don't let anybody know you're a human, because they have never met humans and they might react very poorly. So this is a situation comedy where the situation is this kid has to pretend to be a demon, and he ends up in the class of misfits, and he makes some very good friends. Hey, Dirty, I'm talking about Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun Season 2, which started on Saturday. But I didn't watch that episode until today, actually. And the first season was him, like, rising in the ranks. He had a rival. He had a rival he didn't know about. He made some friends along the way. He discovered some abilities. He got a little bit of a backbone. Not much, but a little bit of one. And even though he wants to just blend in and kind of go under the radar, he also does want to succeed. because his friends are succeeding, and he wants to succeed with the whole class. So he's ranked up twice, which is great for him. Um, and we start this, and also there was a villain that was a friend that wasn't a friend, and it was a villain, and it was a whole thing, and there's going to be more shenanigans with that, I'm sure, but we didn't really. That's for later, probably. So we start this season off, and again, a thing that's weird about this show is the opening song. The first season's opening song was odd, and the second season's opening song is just as odd. It's the same artist. It's got like some look. I fucking love hip hop. This show does not need a weird like rap rock uh, opening song. It's just so out of place and so strange. I don't know what's going on with it, but it's got English in it and it's weird, and I don't know what's happening with it. But uh, I love the description of the character. It makes him sound like an actual human you're proud of. It's incredibly endearing and good at selling the show. So here's the thing. Iruma is just a good boy. He's like tries so hard. He's making the best of it. Like he ends up. So his there's a guy who's like very popular, who decides like, well, I lost in a fight to this kid. I guess I'm gonna hang out with him. And so he's weird in his own way. He ends up befriending Clara, who is like a weirdo who's being taken advantage of because she's never had real friends in her life. She's just had people who've taken advantage of her, and now she has her first real friends, and she's great. And you just really root for the kid. You just want him to succeed. He is making the best of the fact that his parents sold him to a demon, and now he has to go to demon school, and he's still got a smile on his face. And I don't know, there's something about the kid that's great. Um, yeah, he's a sweetheart, and the characters around him are so great. Clara is fantastic, such a great silly character. There's a girl that like thinks she knows his secret. That's the student council president, and she's like definitely also into him because she's read forbidden text, which is she's read romance manga, and so that's her reference of what humans are like is romance manga, is like shoujo. So it's very interesting to see her like react. It's a cool show. Anyway, this episode was all about the ring that he has. It now has a personality. It could talk, and a demon comes out of it, which nobody believes Iruma about. The demon names himself, the ring names himself Ali, and he's like, "Hey, you got to treat me better." And also, why do I have a consciousness? It's very funny because he's like confidently being like, "I don't know why this is happening," because Iruma's like, "Hey, you talk now. What?" So that's a mystery they're gonna try to solve, is why is he talking? They think that it's related to the fact that as Iruma is leveling up and ranking up in the school, that coincides with the ring gaining sentience and a memory and a personality. So now Iruma's like, well, I'm going to rank up even more because I want to see what you evolve into, which is just sweet of him. Also, instead of just being like a black shadow, Iruma uses his magic to imagine him looking like kind of like a dapper, one-eyed monster that I like. I think is a cool look. Also, the end of the first season teased. There was a teaser after the closing song that Iruma is gonna have an evil side to him, and that has not happened yet. We got that tease, so I'm assuming that does happen. In the show. I just don't know when that's going to happen. And that'll be interesting to see. Why does he turn evil? What's going on? What's up? Is it related to the ring? Is it not? And what about the guy that was behind the attack that happened last year or last season? What's going on with that dude? I don't know. But yeah. Welcome to Demon School. Iruma-kun is on Crunchyroll. The first season is, as I said, 23 episodes. It is the first half of the first season, I think, is really strong. The second half, I think, is poorly placed. it felt a little bit like maybe they didn't actually need 23 episodes to tell the story. And then there's also like episode 23 is just like a weird. It closes up a question that I had been having myself throughout the first season, which was like, hey, why does that one girl who doesn't talk she seems real mad at Iruma? What's her fucking deal? We find out what her deal is. So that was good. Okay, now I want to talk to you about the other cute show this season. It's maybe not super cute, but it's fun. It's a great premise. I'm going to talk to you about Dragon Goes House Hunting, which is on Funimation. This show is about a dragon who has been kicked out of his cave home by the other dragons because Letty, our dragon friend, is a pushover. Just a sweet little friend, just a lovely, good friend who is not leader of the dragons material. So through tough love, Letty is kicked out of his home and is on the hunt to find he's on the hunt to find a new home. My home. And he meets Daria. Daria is an elf who has a construction company and also a real estate agency, and specializes in finding homes for monsters. The first episode helps out this slime couple, finds them a place and all this. Because monsters, the number one thing monsters are worried about is heroes or adventurers showing up, taking all their stuff, and maybe even killing them. So finding a good lair, a good dungeon, is important for monsters. Now, first episode, couldn't find any place to live, but found Daria. Also, Daria, probably not an elf, but probably actually a demon lord. Very much heavily implied / just fucking stated that that's a demon lord. But it's a demon lord who we found out in the second episode used to travel with a dragon and has fond memories of traveling with a dragon. So Daria's like, hey, you didn't like that second play. You didn't like the places I took to you in the last episode. Doesn't say that, but I say that. What if we built you a house? Let's go. We're gonna go to these crones, these witches who have a craftsman store. They have like a home goods store. Let's take some stuff out. Let's find something for you. Then he's like, let's build you a house here. The thing is, Daria seems a little shady about how Letty's going to pay for it, because Daria knows what it's going to be and probably knows that Letty's not going to enjoy it. So builds this huge house and is like, okay. So then we put some traps in there because this is a big house and obviously heroes are going to show up. So I also hired you this security team. And the nice thing about the security team is they're monsters and they look mean, but they're also incredibly nice. And they also don't realize that Letty is a very chill monster, a dragon. They're just like, oh, cool, a red dragon. We get to work for a dragon. This is awesome. Because the way to pay for this house and all of the equipment and the gnomes and the goblins and all the creatures that had to build it is heroes show up and they die or they get kicked out and they leave their stuff, and then people sell their stuff. The monsters sell their stuff to then pay whatever. Letty does not like how this is going because heroes show up like fucking immediately. And then also a thing happens. Other monsters show up. Low-level monsters like slimes and some various animal-like monsters. There's some tiny little ones that look like they're like forest sprites. A bunch of low-level monsters go like, hey, could we live here? We don't have a place to go, and you know, you're protecting the heroes, whatever. We'll work, but like, you know, let us know if we could stay here. And Letty's like, I mean, I guess you can. Sure. Well, then more heroes show up, and then Letty's like, I can't stay here. And then Daria's like, all right, well, let's find you a peaceful home. And we get the sense from Letty that, like, Daria knew this was going to happen. Like, Daria definitely knew that Letty wasn't going to like it. So you have to wonder, was this demon lord doing this for all the other monsters, not Letty? Like, to give, like, spread the word about this dragon, have these monsters who are looking for a place to come and be there, and then the monsters that are there, like, are strong enough to defend themselves, but they wanted to have a boss, and now they're all there, and, like, this house exists and is protected, and then they can, defeat and like, live comfortably. And it's like, was that his plan all along? And to me, the answer is yes. I get the sense that Daria is attempting to give Letty life experiences, not just give Letty a peaceful little home, but to, like, make Letty stronger. That is my gut thought. Also, there are other characters we haven't met yet. There's a little creature that bonds with Letty that we haven't met, and then there's some female character that we haven't met yet, and I assume we'll meet one of those soon. But yeah, Dragon Goes House Hunting fucking is just cute and charming and is neat. And I like what it has to say about, like, safety and finding people. One of my favorite characters was from the second episode, who was this, like, he was like the owner of this castle, and then, like, he had shown up and a bunch of people got killed, and so he swore revenge, and now he's a wraith and they haunt the castle. But he also seemed like a real nice guy, and I just think that's fun. There's a lot of stuff in it that I'm just like, this is just a fun time. This is a good little show. So yeah, that's Dragon Goes House Hunting. It's fucking cute. Check it out. It's on Funimation. You can watch the first episode with ads. And then you go, the first 2 episodes, I go to say, because I think they're on episode 3 now. Yeah, so first 2 you can watch with ads. 3 you gotta wait a week if you don't have a paid subscription. All right, so we are. I'm just gonna panel the front of this here, and then we'll move on to the back portion of the waist here. I'd like to try to get at least most of the waist done here in the next half hour. I think we can do that. All right, so I want to talk to you about 7 Knights Revolution Hero Successor, which is a show I don't know if I'm going to keep watching, because the premise is fine, but it is a generic anime. This is an anime that, like, I would be surprised if you were like, oh, is that the... And it'd be like, no, it's this other one. You'd be like, oh, okay, sorry, I got that confused. Like, it is a generic anime. It's perfectly fine. Oh, that's a gacha game anime. Oh, I did not know that it was based on a gacha game. It makes sense because the title is too long. But it doesn't feel like it's based on it doesn't feel like it's based on a light novel, so it makes sense that this is based on a video game. Anyway, it's called 7 Knights Revolution Hero Successor. The basic premise is there are monsters in the world, and there used to be heroes that would help defend. Legendary heroes. There were, like, a bunch of them, and there were 7 that were stronger than the rest. And the thing you can do is you have a card you get from the librarian, which seems like a weird thing. You get a library card. They don't call it a library card, but that's fucking what it is. And it allows you to commune with the spirit of a hero from the past. And your body changes a bit, and you're imbued with the magic they had, and then you can fight these monsters and hopefully save the day. Well, most of the time you go to the school and you get trained, because it's a magical school anime, which I didn't know at first until I started watching it. Most of the time you're supposed to go and you get you eventually are given a hero that you will be compatible with, and then you get powered up. Well, our main character, Nemo, in a time of crisis, unlocked the ability of a hero that is not in the books. Like, no one gave him this power. He just, like, got this power from a hero nobody remembers. Now, the thing about this hero that fucking rips is that he's got an arm, like, with a harpoon gun and a rope, and he can reel it back in. So he's got, like, a grappling hook arm, but, like, grappling spear arm, I guess you could say. And that's just fucking cool, and it's neat. His gear is neat. There are other heroes. We'd seen some of them before. Now we've seen more of them. Um, the elf just looked like a goddamn edgelord. He's got like a dark sword and dark armor, and he just looks like a generic elf guy. He seems like an alright dude as a character, but yeah, whatever. He seems like a generic person. Um, the the lady who I can only describe as she is blunt to everyone. She has no other character traits other than being blunt. Uh, she definitely, now it makes sense that she's from a video game, because this girl, she looks like she is the leader of a marching band. And she like manifests swords that she can like throw at people and use. But she's got like a fucking white outfit and a top hat, like, and her hat like I said, like she is a marching band character. And then there's a cat dude named Gildan, who's a cat man, and he's just got like pretty generic gold armor. I don't know. He's trying too hard. Hey, this is the episode where this dude tries too hard and things don't go great. The big part of this episode is we learn is the magic powers come at a cost. Like, you have to be like in sync with your hero, and you have to be like in a good mind state, because if you're not, the darkness could consume you. And the darkness does consume Gildan, and like looks like they're gonna have to fucking kill this dude. But Nemo is just like, no, there's got to be a way to save him. Let's try to save him. And so the three dudes, the elf and him, and then the big beefy boy, who second episode did not like Nemo, but you know, they worked together, and he learned like how strong the little guy is, and now they're buds. So they work together and they free him, and this is like unheard of. But yeah, so we learned a little bit more about the world, and that there are risks and consequences, which is kind of cool. Also, there was a big airship, and that's always fun. So this is a big fantasy bullshit show that I didn't know was also going to be like a Magic Academy show, like a magic school show. And I'm not super interested in the magic school. I'm also kind of not interested in the special boy with powers that are unlike other people's powers. Like, I kind of need to know more. And like the main girl, who is ostensibly should be the main character of the show, but isn't as powerful as the new boy, and also there's probably going to be romance. Her quirky nature element is that she only knows how to make croquettes, not croquet. She only knows how to make croquettes, and everyone's sick of the croquettes because they're good, but that's the only thing she can make. And at least she's not bad at cooking. Her trait isn't that she's bad at cooking, but her fun, quirky nature thing is that she's just like, yeah, I make this one food. But yeah, they're definitely setting her up to be the love interest, which I'm certainly not thrilled with, since she seems like she should be the main character. There is a girl that works in the library that I am very interested to find out more about, because she had a personality in the second episode, and I was like, ooh, this girl has a personality. Hell yeah. And also, she just like basically thinks the elf guy is really hot. And she's very open about thinking that he's hot. And I was just like, I don't know, you got a personality and something going on, so that's good. Claire, I think her name was. She wasn't in this episode. I hope she's in it more. She's in the opening, so. Also, if this is important to you, because sometimes it is, the librarian that I casually mentioned earlier, her character traits are that she is a soft-spoken, besumed woman. She's got big boobs and cleavage, and she talks softly, and she knows more than she's letting on. So if that is important to you in a minor character, that's there. Whatever. It is what it is. Hopefully these back skirts and front skirts seem pretty connected. I mean, that did just literally pop off as I had said that, but hopefully these won't have to move around too much. As far as the side skirt, I won't know until I put them on, but you know how side skirts are on kits. We'll see if this high grade is stable. But we got to put the side skirts on, and then, or build them, put them on, and then we could be body complete, which is very quick. Although there's a lot of other armor we gotta put on this thing. We gotta slowly build up all the extra nonsense armor that's gotta go on this. Also, there's like more feet that have to go on here, technically. Anyway, let's build the size things. So that's Seven Nights Revolution. Look, if this show was not on a Sunday Monday, which is there's the least amount of shows that I watch on those. It's pretty barren. If this was like during the week, forget it. There's no way I'd be watching this. Like I wouldn't be watching this on a Wednesday or Thursday. But since it's a Sunday show, I'm checking it out. What else? What else? Oh, the last show I want to talk to you about is Let's Make a Mug 2, T-O-O, first season. Yes, they put the word 2 in there. This is based on a manga, and is it definitely paid for, mostly by the city of Tajime? 100%. This is a commercial, a tourist commercial for the a city about how pottery rules, and the pottery capital of Japan is awesome, and you should go there. This is a big commercial, but it's also a very sweet show about friendship and discovery. Our main girl, named Himeno, she and her dad have moved back to the hometown where her mom and dad met. Her mom has passed away, which we find out in the first episode. And she is like trying to get connected with her mom, who's apparently very good at pottery. These episodes are 14 minutes, so they are a shorty, but they are booked. But at the end of each one is a live action. Now, it's not the same kind of live action that you would find in Gal and Dino, where it's the same story, or ostensibly the same story, but with live action characters. No, this is different. This is the voice actors from the show visiting historic places in Tajime and doing stuff that you can do there, and it's just an advertisement. And they eat food, and they're charming young ladies. And so it's nice. They're charming VOs, like hanging out with each other and selling the hell out of the show. They do a good job of making you want to go there and visit there. But anyway, Himeno, who's the main character, she's learning more about pottery. There is an upcoming competition. But the nice thing is, at first when I heard, oh, there's going to be a competition, I was like, oh no. Don't make this a competitive show. Make this a lovely show about girls learning how to do pottery. I want my anime about girls finding things and loving it. I already got one that's a little sadder, because Super Cub is a little sad. But so give me a light one. But don't worry. The event that's coming up is just like a loose plot element to like further like encourage her to like try things. So that's cool. Also, a beautiful element of this episode was Naoko, who is a childhood friend of our main character and kind of joined the pottery club, but not really. She's mostly there to hang out with her friend. She built it's a throwaway gag, but I loved it. She built a little robot kit in this episode, and it was a castle, the Gifu Castle, but it's also a robot. It was a castle that turns into a robot, and she built that. And, like, I don't think we're ever going to see that thing again, but I thought that was pretty neat and fun. The girl that runs the club has a fight with her friend Mika, who is the kind of loud, outspoken person. And they make up, and it's nice. And then everybody has curry that Himeno's dad is making because he runs a cafe. And the theme of this episode was putting smiles on people's faces, and it was just nice. And then the live action was them, the voice actresses, making ceramic tile accessories and being very psyched about that, and then eating curry, which was in the episode, and trying different kinds of curry, and all fucking really liking that curry. And then they all found out by talking about food that one of the voice actors is very good at filleting and preparing fish, which they were all shocked about. But that is a thing she is skilled at doing. And that was cool. All right, I'm going to take a photo of this now, because this is basically This is the Odysseus. And now everything on top of this is going to be extra cool armor. So I am going to take a photo of this now. Pardon me while I take a photo. Anyway, Let's Make a Mug 2 is cute. As I said, the anime part is just 14 minutes, and then there's some live action shenanigans that is fun. And also, we as an American or as a Western audience don't often get those shows. It is pretty rare to see this kind of programming in the U.S. So that's cool. I was psyched about that because, like I said, we don't normally get these shows. So even though they are just fucking commercials, we get them. And I'm like, oh, I'm pretty psyched about that. All right, so we got some time left on the stream. This is the point. It's been a couple days since I asked this. What are y'all watching? What are you consuming? You watching anime? You watching TV shows? Have you been, we talked about the A&E show there. I have not seen that yet. That is the WWE Collectibles thing. That seems cool. What are y'all watching? Anybody watching any programming, catching up on stuff, finding some old stuff? You're watching old things? Let me know. I want to hear from you in the last, 10 minutes of the stream. What are y'all up to? What are you rocking? What are you doing? What's going on? You can let me know. What's up? I want to hear from chat about what chat is up to. Because I'll tell you what. I have been still watching a lot of van life videos, some international van life stuff. That has been kind of the big thing that Pat has been into right now. Still really liking that. So I've been watching a lot of van life videos, conversion videos, international ones, which I'm pretty psyched about. Planning to watch the Snyder Cut of the Justice League movie after I get my shot tomorrow, since that might be the perfect headspace for that movie. Yeah, I mean, Lord Crash is in. I didn't have any side effects, any reaction to the vaccine, second shot, first or second, but I know some people certainly have. Yeah, that feels like a thing. Look, it's just never something I'm never gonna watch it. But for people that wanted more from it, I'm happy for them. I hope they get what they were looking for with it. Shit, I put this on wrong. Oh no, I definitely put this on wrong. Time to break out my tools and try to pop this out. This one bottom piece is supposed to go on this, and I definitely did it wrong. So now I gotta do it right, because this piece goes here, and this is supposed to go on there. Yeah. All right. So I don't know why these are not just identical, but they're not, and I have to be very careful about separating this because you can see. There we go. Okay, we got it out. Great, I did it. So this goes on this side. Lord Creston also says, been streaming my way through the Ratchet & Clank series and finished the third PS2 game yesterday, starting the first PS3 game in the series this week. Hope to finish the mainline game before the new one comes out on the PS5. Oh, hell yeah. I didn't play much of it on the PS3, but I really enjoyed the PS2 Ratchet & Clanks. I spent a lot of time doing that, especially a roommate years and years ago would sit. She really enjoyed watching me play Ratchet & Clank. So if I was playing it and she would like hear the sounds of it and come out and look for hidden stuff and tell me things. And it was just a nice little roommate bonding time. All right, I'm just going to do the edges here. I'm not going to go super deep on this because there's not a lot of grooves here anyway. But I'm just going to minorly panel line this just a little bit. Nothing major. Let's do a few of these here. And we'll do that there. But yeah, Dirty says, didn't have any side effects until I woke up this morning. Worked online for almost half a day before calling it quits and vegging out watching old Craig Ferguson interviews from the Late Late Show. Oh, nice. Yeah, I had no reaction whatsoever. It was like I nothing had happened. Yeah, it just did not affect me in any way, shape, or form. Uh, but I know other people. It was like a freight train. The second one, even the first one, they were feeling it. But I was pretty lucky that I did not have anything happen. Um, Yeah, again, this Wednesday, I will once again promote myself. This Wednesday is my bonus stream. Please come hang out. I'll be checking. Nerdy Monster, welcome. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Welcome to the Bear Cave. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna checking out the demo for Spirit Swap, which again is a Kickstarter game, and I should mention once again that Alex, my friend Alex, is the company is the de facto leader of the company, the development team that is making this game. I have not played the demo yet. I'm excited about it. I am a backer. I am an early backer of the Kickstarter. I'm very excited about it. I actually kickstarted a game, which has been a while since I did that because I believe in the project and them. They did not ask me to do this, but again, it's something I'm excited about. And then that's not going to be an hour and a half to 2 hours, which is the length of the stream. So we will go and check out Dorf Romantique again, which is in early access, which I purchased, and I'm going to do more research about how to play that game because I think I know like the mechanics, but I don't know like I wasn't understanding what was going on. We are going to call the stream there, I think. We'll call it a little early because the next steps are going to take a little while as we start to build all of the armor. We still have some stuff to do. Don't worry. We got another full stream, if not more, to put on all of the Penelope armor. But now we put on the big feat of it. So I'm going to just take a different photo of that now. Also, we are going to raid. That is a thing we do here. We're going to find somebody to go and raid and see what they're doing. But yeah, let me get that with its feet because it's basically the same. We made a lot of progress here. We got legs done. We got the side skirts done. We got the large feet on there. Oh, also, it does do the thing where these, clamp down. You can see that there. These are like stabilizers, and that is pretty cool. But yeah, I am going to go and find somebody awesome for us to go raid. Again, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern is my next build stream. So if you want to come see me put even more armor on this Penelope, that'll be Thursday. And that'll be great. I got to get a poll out about what I do after this. Oops, that's my own volume. While looking at my page there. How long has my friend been playing World of Warcraft? Because I have a friend streaming World of Warcraft with a great community, but I just want to see how long my friend has been doing that. Did they post a stream? Oh, they've only been doing it for an hour. Yeah, they're raiding. Our raid group decided to call themselves Little Pumpers, the Zack Snyder cut. It should really just explain how much garbage fire we are. That sounds fantastic. That is the description of the raid we are about to go see. Bengineering is an incredibly lovely person, has a fantastic community. I love Ben. I think you're also going to love Ben if you don't know Ben. Ben rules, and we're going to go raid Ben, and I don't know, fucking see what a WoW raid is in 2021 with a bunch of fun people like Ben. I think we may have raided Ben before, but like, I don't know, that sounds fun. So let's go do that. Feel free to come along this raid. Again, I'll stream on Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, where I will be playing video games, and of course Thursday, streaming. Thanks so much for being here. Hope you have a great rest of your evening. Yeah, archive will be out tomorrow. Have a good night to you, Lord Ratchet. Good night to everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.